Why you wouldn't last 24 hours in a Victorian house. In a quiet Victorian house, the air moves differently. Soft shadows stretch along tall walls, and the scent of old wood drifts through empty halls. Light from the gas lamps flickers gently, touching the edges of delicate wallpaper and polished brass. Every corner seems to hum with stillness, and the quiet is so deep that even the faintest creak of floorboards feels like a distant whisper. Outside, the gardens lie hushed, with moonlight pooling softly across gravel paths, and the night seems to settle slowly, wrapping everything in a gentle, unbroken calm. Rooms are filled with small details that tell quiet stories. Heavy curtains hang patiently over tall windows, filtering the cool night air. The furniture, smooth and polished, stands in careful order, each piece carrying a weight of days gone by. The bedrooms are tucked away, with narrow beds and crisp linens waiting silently. Even the ticking of the clocks seems measured, slow, and deliberate, marking the passage of time in the softest way. It is a world that moves gently, yet every little sound seems to echo farther, reminding one how alone the house can feel, and how carefully one must tread within its quiet embrace. In this stillness, the mind can wander freely, drifting like soft smoke through quiet corridors. The warmth of a small fire hums gently, filling the space with a soft glow, while shadows linger tenderly along the walls. Outside, the night stretches endlessly, calm and serene. Here, one feels the careful rhythm of an old life, moving slowly, without rush or stir. As the house breathes around you, there is a gentle invitation to rest, to let thoughts float quietly, and to drift along the soft currents of the night, until even the quietest sighs dissolve into the gentle hush of moonlit calm. The kitchen is a place of quiet ritual, even when empty. Copper pots hang in orderly rows, their surfaces catching faint light like soft reflections on water. The air carries the faintest scent of herbs and polished wood, subtle and lingering. Shadows linger in corners where no lamp reaches, and the floorboards, worn smooth over time, remember each careful step. Even in stillness, the house seems alive with small, patient rhythms. The slow settling of walls, the gentle creak of hinges, the faint, almost musical hum of a distant clock. It is a calm life, observed in the hush between moments, where the world beyond feels distant and slow. Upstairs, the bedrooms hold a tender quiet, where beds are made neatly under the soft glow of lamplight. Heavy quilts lie folded with care, and the faint draft from tall windows moves like a whisper across the floors. The furniture seems to breathe gently in the shadows and tiny details. A carefully carved chair, a delicate vase, hold memories that drift softly in the still air. The night presses lightly against the panes, and the faint rustle of leaves outside becomes a slow, soothing rhythm. In this gentle space, time feels elastic, stretching calmly across hours that move like drifting clouds. Even the attic has its quiet stories, with beams of moonlight resting softly on forgotten trunks and old fabrics. Dust floats like tiny motes, shimmering faintly in the gentle glow, and the house seems to exhale slowly, wrapping itself in peaceful patience. There is a delicate hush that stretches everywhere, and each sound, each soft creak or sigh, feels like a tender note in a slow, unhurried melody. Here, the world narrows to this quiet space, where thoughts meander and the body unwinds, letting the hush of the house cradle it gently, and the night stretches outward, soft, endless, and calm. Down in the parlor, the soft glow of a single lamp rests on polished tables and the spines of old books. Shadows sway gently across patterned carpets, and the air carries the faint scent of wax and aged paper. The room holds a quiet patience, as if time itself moves more slowly here. Chairs sit quietly, waiting, and every object seems to have its place, resting in soft, unhurried order. Outside, the garden fades into silver under the tender gaze of the moon, and the night whispers softly against the walls, wrapping the house in gentle stillness. The hallways stretch quietly, their length softened by shadow and muted light. Pictures hang silently on the walls, their faces serene, as if observing the slow rhythm of the house. Each step echoes faintly, a gentle reminder of space and calm. The windows hold faint reflections of the moon, and the silence seems almost tangible, soft enough to rest your thoughts upon. Even the faintest draft moves slowly, brushing across the furniture and floor, carrying with it a sense of timeless patience. Everything here unfolds gently, as if the house itself wishes only to soothe and settle the mind. And so, the night deepens, folding each room into a tender hush. Every corner rests in quiet, every shadow drifts like a slow cloud. The house breathes with a gentle, steady rhythm, and the faint glow of lamp and moonlight blend into a soft, silver calm. Here, within these walls, there is nothing to stir, nothing to chase, only the tender embrace of stillness. Thoughts drift softly, as the night moves slowly onward, and all around, the quiet stretches, lingering and gentle, until even the faintest breath of sound fades into the soft, endless hush of night. Up in the nursery, the air is delicate and still, carrying the faintest whisper of old wood and soft linens. Tiny beds rest neatly in their corners, blankets folded with quiet care. Moonlight slips gently through the windows, touching the edges of toys left behind and casting long, gentle shadows across the floor. Everything here seems to pause, as if the room itself is holding its breath, allowing thoughts to drift freely, like slow-moving clouds across a calm sky. In the library, the scent of old paper and polished wood lingers softly, wrapping the space in quiet warmth. Shelves stand in patient order, their books lined like silent companions, waiting for gentle fingers to turn their pages. The faintest sound of the house settling hums beneath it all, a tender rhythm that moves slowly through the walls. Light glimmers off brass fixtures and the edges of delicate furniture, and the hush here feels endless, as if time itself has softened, stretching each moment into a gentle, unhurried flow. Through every hallway and chamber, the house breathes quietly, carrying a soft calm that lingers in every corner. The night moves gently, touching each surface with quiet silver light, and the shadows stretch and yawn with the slow patience of moonlit hours. In this tender, still world, the mind can drift without effort, floating with the soft rhythm of the house. The quiet deepens, folding around every thought, and all that remains is the gentle, steady hush of the night, stretching outward and fading slowly, softly, into endless calm. And now, as the house settles into its soft, patient quiet, the gentle hush of night wraps around every room. Shadows linger lightly, and moonlight drifts slowly across polished floors and quiet furniture. The air is calm, steady, carrying only the faintest whisper of the walls breathing and the softest sighs of the night. Thoughts drift like slow clouds, floating freely through the halls, as the rhythm of this gentle place moves softly, endlessly, without rush. Every corner, every room, holds its tender stillness. The quiet stretches softly across the floors, over the beds, and along the ceilings, until even the faintest creaks of old would seem like part of a slow, comforting melody. The gentle glow of lamp and moonlight blend into a silver hush, inviting the mind to wander peacefully, resting on nothing and everything at once. There is no hurry, no stir, only the slow, steady unfolding of calm that fills the house with quiet patience. So now, let the night linger gently, like soft moonlight on warm wood and quiet halls. Let the hush wrap softly around thoughts, and allow the stillness to settle like a tender, slow blanket. And as the shadows stretch and the gentle quiet drifts across every corner, let yourself whisper, "Good night."